I was working at my local pizza place when a delivery order came in from a person with a familiar name. I had finished my shift, so Simon was taking over for me, but I really wanted to deliver this order, so I told Simon I'd deliver it for him. I was feeling sick for so long, and it took me so long to get back to work, but my treatment didn't help me. It just made things worse. A while later, I knocked on the door with the pizza, and I wanted to see for certain is it the guy I thought it was. I was right, it was. It took him a while to register who I was, but when he did, he took the pizza and said, "Hey Susie, how are you keeping? It's great you're back to work." I smiled back and said, "Hey Mr. Potter, I'm doing good now, thankfully." He handed me $20 and I was giving him the change of $5, but he said, "Keep the change." The door shut and I walked back to the car. Mr. Potter sat down to eat his pizza and felt hungry after a long hard day's work when suddenly the light went out. He said "damn" and wondered where his flashlight was. Mr. Potter walked into his room to fetch it when someone came up behind him and stuck a needle in his neck and he collapsed. He didn't know how long he was out, but when he came around, he was sitting on a chair with loads of electric wires around him, and there was a flashlight blinding his eyes. Susie was staring right at him. "You sure loved to use electricity on me, didn't you?" He said, "Susie, what are you doing?" She took a wig off, showing her bald head. "Mr. Potter, I am going to flick the kill switch back on in just a few minutes, and you are going to fry alive with those electric wires that are tied onto you. That, I must add, I doubt you will be able to wiggle free with your hands tied behind your back. I learned all that from you. I must admit, this tonight has been the best therapy I've ever had." He started screaming as I walked down to the basement and flicked the kill switch to on. I could hear buzzing and the screaming stopped.
It was summer in New Orleans when a pastor found out about a mysterious voodoo cult. He was sent an anonymous letter saying that the doom and evil would fall among their town if something wasn't done, and it had to be done from a man of faith. He was told there would be dolls hanging up around somewhere in the town. It needed to be ended by a man of faith. It needed to be a case that a man of faith cut the dolls down. He was shocked reading the letter, but a part of him was just dismissing it, thinking it must be some teenagers with nothing else better to do with their time than write a letter to the local pastor. But all of his skepticism changed in the next few days, when he was going for a walk in the woods, and he had seen lots of dolls hanging off trees. He didn't like the look of it, and put it down to some voodoo or black magic ritual. He came back a while later with his scissors, and cut them all down. He counted them individually, and there were 13 dolls exactly. He went home and was in shock, while listening to the radio when the newsreader said, "There has been 13 people in a local New Orleans town, Glenside, found dead under mysterious circumstances. It is not known yet what is the cause of the deaths, but the local police are looking for any witnesses or dashcam footage of any of the scenes. There were in various parts of the town. We will keep you updated on this story as more information comes into us. A few minutes later, he walked into his son's room, and his son was playing a computer game. It looked to be one of those violent games. The screen said, "Now cut the doll from the string it's hanging on in the ceiling and you will win the game." The son had just cut it before his dad walked in the room, and before his dad could get mad at him for playing another violent game, his dad dropped dead. The son screamed and ran over to his dad, not knowing that the so-called online game he was playing led to the death of his father. When the pastor cut the 13 dolls down, it had to be his own flesh and blood cut another doll down to the pastor be the 14th death. Thanks for watching The Assassin Rapper, and if you want to stay up to date on new content, then please subscribe and be sure to hit the bell to be notified on new content. Jake saw an ad online for a life coach with a guaranteed plan to make their life better in every single way. Jake thought it was just a load of marketing and advertising rubbish trying to sell an idea that clearly wouldn't work in any way. But he was hating his life so much, he thought to himself, what harm would it do? He made an appointment by sending an email, and he arrived in the office the next day. The man introduced himself. "Hello, Jake. Nice to meet you. My name is Robert Sampson. I am very pleased and thankful that you chose to do my course. This is a plan that has been guaranteed to work. Just you wait and see. Your life is going to take a huge turn for the better, and you will be happier than you ever were. You will be happier than you ever imagined. All you need to do is relax and go with the flow of the plan, and you will find that your life is absolutely amazing, and you will finally be able to feel the power of now. You will be able to focus on what you love and who you love, and be able to get rid of all the negative energy that is holding you back." The session lasted for about an hour. Within days, Jake's life had started to get so much better, just like Robert had promised him. He was so happy. He met a new girlfriend called Brooke, and they had a great day out in the carnival. The next day he went swimming, which he loved, but recently hadn't the mind to go. A week later he even joined a band and became the lead singer, which he always dreamt of doing, but didn't have the courage. If that wasn't enough, himself and his new girlfriend Brooke travelled to countries they had only dreamt of going to, but now could afford because of the money that was rolling in from the band's success. Robert was very happy with the progress he was finally achieving. He hated the teething problems with his other subjects, and that was a shame. Those very nice people looking for help only to wind up dead. He felt stupid that he didn't take into account they would die of hunger and thirst. But this was going to be different. He sorted that problem. These pods wouldn't let Jake die like the others who were plugged into the Digiverse created to them feel, hear, and see a world that was beautiful and amazing. But these pods should be able to solve that problem. Jake doesn't know either about the Digiverse. He doesn't know he's in a pod. If he would, wouldn't he freak out? Of course. Robert looked into the pod at Jake, wondering how his life in the Digiverse was going. Thanks for watching the Assassin Rapper, and if you enjoy the content, then make sure to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified of new content. Sam was relaxing watching TV when he got a phone call from his girlfriend Ginny. She said in an excited voice, "Hi Sam, it's me. I just finished an absolutely amazing game. Well, I'm not sure could you even call it a game. It's more of a surprise or an amazing prize or something like that. I have the choice to nominate someone close to me to experience the same thing. Trust me, you'll love it. They gave me the rules. All you need to do is go down to the bus stop across the street, and under the seat, under a stone, will be an envelope with instructions to you go to a place called the Red Room. But I know it's kinda weird at the start. You get taken in a cab and are blindfolded, so you don't know where you are going exactly. I have to admit, I was totally freaked out at that stage, but when I got to the Red Room..." Sam interrupted Ginny. "Ginny, are you high or something? What is going on? What is the Red Room?" "Okay, in the envelope you will see a questionnaire. You just fill it out and then follow the instructions to get brought to this room, which is called the Red Room. It's kind of strange though, because the room is all white. There is no red in it. But I was asked about what was my favourite food, movies, books, etc. And the room was full of everything I love. And there are loads of shopping trolleys outside the room to me carry it. Trust me, you will absolutely love it. I'll show you what I have when I get home." Sam said, "You're telling me that I can go there right now to the bus stop and fill the questionnaire?" Ginny said, "Yes, right now, because you don't know what time you're going to be collected." Sam said, "Okay babe, I'm on it right now. I'll see you after this freaking weird surprise you're talking about." A few minutes later, Sam walked to the bus stop, and sure enough there was a stone with an envelope underneath. He knew he couldn't fill out the questionnaire at the bus stop, as he needed something to lean on, and he had no pen, so he brought it back to his house and filled it out. He was asked to go to a quiet road near his house and get picked up outside a gate in an hour. He was there waiting, and a car pulled up, and a person with a face covered said, "Welcome to the Red Room, where your dreams become a reality. You don't have to pay 1 cent for loads of things you could only dream to afford to buy. There will be lots of more surprises waiting for you in the Red Room." Sam was shown into the car and blindfolded, and a half-hour later his blindfold was taken off in a white room. The white room was full of everything he loved. Games consoles, expensive TVs and lots more. He then heard a voice come out of a speaker that said, "Hello and welcome to the Red Room. Thanks very much for accepting the offer to enter the Red Room. Everything you see was chosen from the answers to your questionnaire, so we surmise you are very happy with your gifts. You now have the honour to ring a friend and nominate them to enter the Red Room. Just simply tell us their location and we will give you a meeting point to then pick up their envelope." Sam said happily, "I nominate my cousin Fred, please. He lives just around the corner from me." The voice spoke again. "Perfect. All you need to do is call your friend using your cell phone and let him know about the game and tell him to look under the same place as you did by your bus stop." Sam was very happy to make the call, and when he hung up, he heard something from the wall. He wondered what it was. Then suddenly he heard gunshots, and he was shot to bits. His blood splattered all over the white room, and he wasn't alive to find out why the white room was called the Red Room. Thanks for watching The Assassin Rapper, and if you enjoy the content, then make sure to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified of new content.